Why is it that the girls who are single and serially dating and they have rosters, why are they the ones giving out their game card and giving relationship advice instead of the women who are actually like happily married to wealthy men who spoil them?
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So this video is another interesting video as always, and this video is about a video of a sister who came online to talk about why is it that it's people not in relationship, single people, that are dishing out advices. So she went out to call out single people. Why are single people and people that are more like side chicks are the ones giving advice, telling you how to manipulate men, how to secure a bag, how to do all that, how to just go navigate a relationship, when women that are in happy relationship, that are able to secure a healthy, rich man and in a happy relationship, and not giving tips and relationship advice on social media. And I find that question she asked very, very interesting, because we all know everybody's dishing advice here on social media. And most of the advice we have here on social media are usually negative, telling you how to manipulate, like the sprinkle and all of that. And some of the answers of some of these women that are happily married, they came to share their own thoughts. So we're going to hear the sisters' thought and our own thought why those women are not sharing how they are able to bag healthy relationship, wealthy men. She's going to share her thought, and then we're going to hear women that are in a relationship also share their thought on this conversation. So with that all said, guys, let's go check it out, then we'll come back and talk more.
So I just seen this girl make a video and she was like, why is it that the girls who are single and serially dating and they have rosters, why are they the ones giving out their game card and giving relationship advice instead of the women who are actually like happily married to wealthy men who spoil them? And I also want to add, why are the women who married their sugar daddies giving advice as well? Because I'm so sorry. You were doing sex work when you met that man. You met him as a sex worker, and he left his wife and the family to marry you because you were younger and hotter than his wife, who popped out 3 kids and who's the same age as him. Oh my God, I can't believe she showed signs of aging. Like, I'm not taking advice from you hoes either. But why are they the ones giving relationship advice and not the ones who are actually happily normally married to wealthy men? Why aren't they giving any advice? And the answer to that is that they don't have any advice to give. And this is very okay, put it like this. There's people who have naturally clear skin, and there's people who had to struggle with acne, right? I would have naturally clear skin genetically. Neither one of my parents have ever had acne. Both of my parents have always had clear skin. They passed it on to me. They did also pass on to me terrible eyesight, though. Both my parents wear glasses. You know I wear glasses, right? We all get it dealt our hand. So I don't have any advice to give you about skincare. I grew up washing my face with just hot water and putting lotion on my face, and I didn't have acne. Now, if you're somebody who struggled with acne and you had to go through that trial and error of how to get your skin clear, you have advice. You have methods. You have techniques. You can share that, right? Some women just naturally give the type of woman to where men want to spoil them, and they attract good men who fall in love with them, who don't just see them for their body or what they can do physically, but they actually fall in love with those women, and those women are afforded a nice life because of that, because they had a man who of means happen to fall in love with them, and they didn't do anything extra about it. It just happened, right? Then you have other women who have had terrible experiences, or maybe they dated broke guys or whatever the case may be, and they had to implement techniques. They had to implement methods. They had to basically learn how to manipulate people. They had to level up their whole life and change who they were and all this other kind of stuff in order to be able to get that from a guy, right? So to answer your question, that's why those women are not giving relationship advice. The women who you see who are married to their sugar daddy and or who are single with a roster and they're just serially dating, the reason why they can give you advice is because they're having so many different experiences and they're using so many manipulation tactics while they're dating that they have advice to give. They've done so much dating trying to find this perfect man who's going to have all this money and who's going to treat them perfect, and they have not found it. So they've gone through all this trial and error. So that's why they can now, or at least they think, they can come on here and give the rest of us advice, even though we don't want their situation. But that's why they feel as if they have the right to give advice because they have so much experience trying. Whereas the women who just happen to end up happily married to a rich man, they don't have advice because one, they're living their life. They're not looking for that life, they're living it. And two, it just fell in their lap. They don't have no formula to share, baby. Like that white couple on here, who they come and show their outfit of the day and the husband always calls her Pookie. I don't know why y'all think they're weird. They don't give weird to me. They just give a regular couple. I don't know, but they don't give weird to me. But anyways, they made a video about how they met. Literally, he said he was at a bar. He saw her. She was the prettiest woman at the bar. That's what he thought. He went up to her, starts talking to her. They hit it off. He fell in love with her, and he married her a year later or something like that. That's what he said. That's why she's not out here giving relationship advice. She didn't have to put no spell on him. She didn't have to use no manipulation tactics. He just happens to be rich, and he saw her, liked her, fell in love with her, and married her. She didn't go out of her way for that. She didn't have to manipulate him. She didn't have to use any techniques or methods. She was just being herself, and he fell in love with her, and he happened to got money, and he used it to spoil her. That's it. That's why those women are not giving advice, okay? In my opinion, the only dating advice that you should really be using is advice that teaches you how to become the better person and teaches you how to understand the opposite sex. But once you get into all this, oh, you need to put a spell, and you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to tell him this, and you need to lie to him about this, and don't tell him that, and all that other stuff, baby, if he really like you, you don't have to do any of that. I promise. Yeah. I promise you that if a man likes you, you will not have to manipulate him whatsoever to get him to treat you right or to get him to give you money. Why is it that the girls who are single and serially dating and they have rosters, why are...
Hi. Happily married wife, married to a high-value man, and I have a couple of tips to sprinkle on you.
Okay.
Number one, don't look for a man that leads with his money. If a man thinks that you're only with him for his money, or that is what you are attracted to, when you are attracted to him, he's going to forever hold that money over your head. And I don't think that's what you're looking for. Okay. My favorite kind of wealthy people are the ones that you don't even realize are wealthy because they're just minding their business and living their private lives. Those are the people that you want to look for. You're probably wondering, like, well, where do you find these wealthy men that don't lead with their money? Well, first, let me tell you where they're not. They're not in the club buying sections. They're not at the day parties. They're not at anything being advertised on Instagram. Because if you know, like I know, when people have something big to lose, they don't really hang around people who don't have anything to lose. Ooh. So where can you find high-value men? Okay. Well, high-value men, they go to private events. They go to sporting events. They go to galas. They go to birthday celebrations. They go to weddings. They go to conferences. And that is a big one. You might even find some of them in the gym and in the grocery store. But here's the thing. They're not going to be there in the middle of the day. They're going to be there very early in the morning. I'm talking 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, super early. Because if you are wealthy and your wealth did not come from inheritance, 9 times out of 10, you have worked very hard for that wealth. Mm-hmm. And a hardworking man is the best kind of man to get. So grocery store, very early in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Back to the conferences. You can literally pick what career you would like to date someone from. And there are conferences for everything. Okay. I have never seen a broke man with money for a conference. So if you're looking for a dentist, you can look up when the National Association of Dentistry conferences. Okay. If you're looking for a real estate investor, look up the National Real Estate Investors Conference. If you're looking for a veterinarian, like, you get the drift. There's conferences for literally every single type of professional sector that there are. And most of the time, successful men like to keep up their network and they attend these conferences. Buy yourself a ticket, attend, and network. The last tidbit that I'm going to just drop on you today before I leave is don't sleep on the quiet guy. don't sleep on the nerdy guy. I know when we were in high school and in college, nobody ever wanted to go for the quiet guy who didn't, wear all the flashy brands. But now that I'm a little bit older, it seems to me like all the guys who were super popular and the top athletes that were well known in high school and everybody knew their name, and they peaked at high school. And a lot of them are still reading at high school level, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you want to go for someone with a little bit more status, I guarantee you, go look at the people who were the quiet, nerdy ones in your high school. See what they're up to now, and I think you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And giving relationship advice instead of the women who are actually like happily married to wealthy men who spoil them.
One of the biggest things I learned as a single woman was that if I wanted to find my husband, I had to stop dating men who weren't my husband. Okay? I had the worst of the worst. I was abused terribly. Like, when I tell you my standards were they weren't even on the floor. They were beneath the floor. They were not. So after I got through what I went through, I got very serious with myself. I wrote down everything that I was looking for in a man. Down to physical appearance, like job. I wanted him to be wealthy, like all of the things. I wanted him to love me, care for me. I wanted him to be empathetic. I wanted him to treat me with respect, like queen. I wanted all of these things. And I made a vow with myself that I would not accept anything less than that. And easier said than done. The reason why a lot of single women give advice on dating is because they are purposefully single. They remain single until they find their husband because they know the man they're looking for. What you're looking for is looking for you.
I assure you that. And that's not just with relationships and dating. That's with anything. That's the law of attraction. But especially as a woman in dating, you cannot accept less than what you want. The moment that you accept less and you settle for less, you are denying yourself of what you really want 100% of the time. And then, like I said, that's not just for relationships, but especially dating men. When you accept, what did Nicki Minaj say? She said, if I would have accepted the pickle juice, she didn't accept the pickle. So obviously I don't have a ring on my finger, right? But my advice to single women, write your standards down. Write everything down. Write it down. I cannot stress to you how important that is. See it, visualize it, think about it, internalize it. Do not accept anything less than that from a man. Do not waste your time. Do not waste your energy because they're not your husband. If you're looking for your husband, don't date men that aren't. Love y'all. Stay blessed.
And giving relationship advice instead of the women who are actually like happily married to wealthy men who.
Please go listen to the original creators' thoughts or perspective on this. I want to offer somehow a different perspective or move it to a step further in the conversation. This creator was asking about why are single women with rosters giving relationship advice about how to find a wealthy man, how to find a rich man, instead of women who are married to rich men giving advice on that. And she gave such a great perspective. I want to add this, right? If we are talking about capitalism doesn't depend on us to share information about how all of us can be worthy or wealthy, or all of us can have money together. So capitalism depends on people who already have the money to hoard that money and to not share it. So if we look at it in that perspective, people are not going to share how they are married to a wealthy man or how to bag a rich man and all of those things. And here is the other thing. Majority of men who are wealthy or who comes from families who have generational wealth are not marrying outside of their tax brackets. It's not something that happens occasionally or that is normalized. No. Majority of men who come from money and generational wealth and all of those things, they marry within their group. They marry other rich people. And this is backed by data and all of those things. So it's only a few of them who would go outside of their family or outside of their tax bracket and marry women who do not make as much as their family do or as much as they do. And if you think about it, right, majority of these wealthy, rich men or rich people, they go to the same school, they hang out in the same country club, they socialize in the same places, all of these things that are not open or accessible to people who are outside of their task bracket. So we have to also think about the systems that we live in a capitalist state. The people who have the money, they have to hoard the money. They have to keep it. They don't want it to go out there and trickle down to the middle class and to the lower class. That's not what it needs, because then all of us are going to have money, and capitalism doesn't depend on that. It depends on the few that have the money to hold on to it and make us feel like we can get something. We can struggle to get something. Again, you have to think about it systematically. That's how I always envision stuff. So the people teaching people how to marry a rich man and all of that, it's little, the little crumbles that you're teaching us how to get. But the rich people, trust me, they are not going to marry outside of their tax bracket.
And the answer to that is that they don't have any advice.
I love that TikTok because she's asking the real question, right? Which is, why is all the dating advice coming from single women or women who are married, but they're married because they got promoted out of being in the mistress position, or they are married to their former clients, if you know what I mean? That is not the kind of advice and guidance that most women want or will benefit from. The advice necessarily isn't coming from women who are married to wealthy men who are happy. And I have an answer for that. First things first, because the advice, the formula, because she talks about, well, what's the formula? The formula is just dumb luck. I don't agree with that. The formula is not sexy. It's not getting dressed up, sitting cute at a hotel bar and telling a man, well, how much money do you have? Telling a man, well, I'm not talking to you unless I get all my bills paid. It sounds snappy and cute when you watch it in a video, but in real life, those are not the building blocks of like an actually happy, healthy, and like sane marriage. I can guarantee you that, okay? The formula is a little more boring, and it's, you want to meet and marry someone who is enterprising, educated, ambitious, kind, conscientious. You have to have those qualities, okay? Where do you plan to meet those men? You can only go to but so many hotel bars. And sure, you might come across one of them, but the reality is that you're going to have much more success. And I know this for a fact. You're going to have much more success if you're meeting these men at charity galas, workplace events, conferences, maybe churches, social events, through friends, okay? You want to be in shared spaces where your access to that event already says something about you. That's the truth. That's the truth. You have a 1 in a multi-million chance of being, living the pretty woman fantasy, okay? In real life, it's, oh, where'd you go? I went to this school. Oh, I went to this school. I have a buddy who's also into cloud security, such and such. Maybe we should all link up together. Those are the kind of conversations that happen, okay? That's what the formula is. Work on self, be dope, whatever your classification of being super amazing means, and then that's how you meet your match. That's the formula. And make sure that your standards do not move. Make sure that you are not trying to be or fall into being a long-term girlfriend. Hope that helps.
Are they the ones giving relationship advice and not the ones who are actually happily, normally married to?
It's because they don't want to embarrass their husbands. Like, if I decided I would start making a ton of videos on how I snagged my high value man, then that would be just really, really embarrassing for my husband, because all of his colleagues and friends and business partners and everyone would see that, and it would not make me look good. It would not make him look good. And any person who is married to someone who really values their career would not want that kind of attention. And also, just personally, I'm not going to speak for every wife who's in a healthy relationship to a successful man, but personally, like, I just don't believe in sharing that much about your relationship, especially if it's a good one, because there's a lot of evil eye out there. And I think that you should keep anything good and that you truly, truly love close to your heart. And this is coming from the perspective of someone who is a content creator who makes their money on social media. And of course, I would love the views that those type of videos bring, but I would never sell my love that cheaply, like, and my life that cheaply. Like, maybe other parts of my life, but not that part, because I care so much about that relationship. And the moment you let other people into your relationship, it's over. That's why you never see social media couples last, because there's too many opinions in that relationship. And you should never, never open yourself up to that if it's a true, authentic love, in my opinion. Yeah, so that's why I don't show my husband that much on here. I will sprinkle him into videos here and there. He wasn't a lot of the wedding content because it was wedding related, but I didn't share anything important to us from the wedding. Like, I shared like the materialistic nonsense of the wedding, like the flowers and the venue and the whatever, like the fun parts that are just like materialistic, but I never shared our vows and our parents' speeches and our friends' speeches and all of the things that are really important, because like those things are sacred and should be kept close to home. And also, if you were in a really happy marriage and are with this amazing man who spoils you, like, you don't need to brag about every single little thing he does. Like, I'm a big believer that if you see someone always bragging about what their partner does for them, like, they're not in that good of a relationship. Or like, if they're always just like, you know, the bigger the paragraph, the bigger the issues. And I firmly believe that.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section, but please keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So feel free, share your opinion, okay? Disagreement is allowed. Oh, he's healthy, yeah. Okay, so go ahead, share your thoughts. So here's my thought on this. Some of you guys don't know, I've been married for 10 years plus, and I've been with my partner, aka husband, for 20 years. So I won't talk about people in long-term relationship, happy relationship. I think maybe I should talk. You get it? I feel like I'm in that place that I should talk. And she's talking about how people are not sharing relationship, and the other lady talking about how people in happy relationship don't have that time to share because sometimes they might be embarrassing their man coming online to share and all that. For me, I feel like happiness in a relationship or being in a happy relationship is relative to an individual. A lot of people, some people having money is important to them in their relationship, and they have their money, they're happy. Some people having kids in a relationship or in a marriage will make them happy, and having their kids, it's happy. So when we talk about happy in a relationship, in marriage, I feel like it's relative individualism there. So I don't feel like one size fits all to that. So what is happiness to you is different for what is happiness to me. And one thing I would say with women, like the other lady that was talking about how women should be very intentional and they should set their standard and don't go. I agree. Everybody's standard is different. So when people say, oh, this is my standard, people's standard might not be with your standard. Our traumas we go through in life kind of navigates what we feel and what we need to make us feel a certain way, happy or content and all that. So you have to navigate that emotions yourself. Get what I'm saying? So when people talk about being in a happy relationship, what are you looking for in a relationship? Are you looking for a companion? Are you looking for money? Are you looking for who to do life with? Are you looking for a child? People get into relationship, into marriage for different reasons. Are you looking for a business contract? You have to set your goals and why and be very intentional. A lot of us women get into marriage with just the idea of marriage without knowing why we're getting into marriage. And most times when you get into marriage with the idea you like what you want for marriage, what you genuinely want for marriage, and you get into there and you receive that, you'll be happy. You'll be happily married. You get what I'm saying? So it's something that still boils down to what we always discuss here, is that go heal your trauma so that you're very self-aware of who you are, so that you can identify things that you know you need in your life. Not the things you want. Things you want is relative, but the things you need that's going to make you a better person, a more happy person, healthy for yourself, is going to do all that. So you have to do the work yourself so that you can be able to navigate that part. So happiness is relative. And for that sister that was giving us tips, hope you guys are taking note. People that are looking for high value men, I don't know what that means. when they say, "Oh, I'm looking for high value men," I just feel like people needs are different. People expectation to relationship to union is different. But if you've tried any of these tips, go down and share it. I'd love to know what you think. And why do you think people don't share their relationship? And I know some of you guys will say, "Oh, that's not you too. You don't share your relationship." You know, that's because my husband is not the type that wants to share relationship. Like private, Mr. Private. So I do the quotes because that's the word he will use. And yeah, I personally I mind sharing my story and all that, but the other person does not. So which I'm going to respect that. And I don't agree 100% that people in a 100% happy marriage don't share. But I also believe that if you put too much of your relationship out there on social media, be ready. If you don't have a strong personality or a strong will or a strong direction of where you're heading with your relationship, you're on your own. So I would advise anybody, before you put out your relationship out there on social media, know that you are solid and your relationship is solid and you're not easily persuaded when it comes to your direction. But I feel like that's why. But there are also some women that are happy in their marriage. Maybe they are fulfilled with whatever they are receiving and they are not sharing. And it's fine. Do you be happy? Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think about this amazing conversation down in the comment section. But please keep it respectful. Yeah, on the channel, we're allowed to disagree, like I said before, but we do it in a respectful way. We're family yet, so go ahead and share your thoughts. Please don't forget to share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to put up my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel and this girl. With that all said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.